Okay, then let's get back to the base tour that we were gonna be doing. Today I will go through my astronomic 3 and 4 and energy 3 and 4, and then you'll see the start of spaceships. Spaceships, yay! Okay. Let's find the where Astronomic 3 begins. I think it's around here. Um, yep, that's a comprehensive. So the theme with Astronomic is that you have the uh, basic what's it called, telescope collecting the data, and then that turns into the tech cards in these astronomic facilities, and then you have gravimetric facilities that take the final astrometric data, and that turns it into more things. Um, I think the level 3 tech is where you get the final observational frame data. So this is a radio telescope, and it takes just regular blank observational frames and uh, puts it into these data. I think I added more here somewhere too. Oh yeah, there's more of them. There's a couple more here because this isn't enough. This is one of the slower recipes. And oh, here's one more. Gamma ray telescope. Yes. So these astrometric facility makes the data, and the final two also gets combined into the astrometric data recipe. And then so some of it, one of them actually uses this laser facility, negative pressure data, and then there's another one that uh, takes. This is a two science card. This is an astronomic science two, like one of the cards, and then it actually gets processed again. Um, I think this also takes in the negative pressure data. Yeah, this is the negative pressure data. So this card actually is in this recipe too, and that finally comes down here. So then all four tech cards gets made into the catalog. I just have the catalog in here. Why did I collect them? Comprehensive catalog? I'm not sure why I collected them, but anyways, so yeah, here you have catalog and catalog, insight, significant data, a intermediate, and then the previous tech pack, and then it makes the astronomic science pack 3. And then astronomic science pack 4 is the first one where you're going to see one of the data cards require you to launch a probe at another location. In this case, so this is a astro. So in this case, it needs to go to an asteroid belt. So you can't launch the probe here. So this is a spaceship. This is my first, one of the first spaceships, anyways. So I have some liquid rocket fuel here. The spaceship design. So the earlier spaceships, you will only have tanks that use liquid rocket fuel, which is very inefficient given the new update. And then, of course, for power on the ship, you need power on the ship. You need power on the ship for both flight, like these things take electricity to fly, as well as the fuel. They're two different inputs. They both take electricity and fuel input, and I just run the electricity from these fluid isothermic generators. Not all that efficient, I'll be honest, but for the first couple, this doesn't need to launch very often at all, so it's not terrible. And my first ships, I did have one of these shield projectors. They actually come a little bit later, but you see that I just used regular gun turrets on them for the meteor defense. And then we go to the asteroid belt 2, and look, this here is where the ship comes, right? And then it'll take the probe and the um it'll take the probe and also this thing, novice orbit. It'll take the probe and a probe rocket. The rockets are they are built in my space mall here. And what they take is a bunch of cargo rocket segments, rocket fuel, and then these few things. Mm, And so once that gets launched, it's kind of just like how in the past when in vanilla when you launched the base rocket, you get you get a tech card back. So this is the satellite, and then it just takes one of these. It'll run. It'll go from 1 to 100, and it'll launch, and then it'll come back with these data. So there's one of these data cards for Astronomic Science 4 and one for Energy Science 4 here. These two ships are pretty much identical in design. And then there's also one more for the Deep Space Science 1. I'll show you later what that one looks like. It's pretty cool. Um, so with spaceships, basically they're control on this thing, and my earlier spaceships have really bad programming. Technically, you don't need to do all this on the ship itself. You can have it. You could have these things be linked into this little not the clamp itself, right? But the little box up on the corner of the clamp, and then that will transmit whatever information on here into the clamp inside the ship. And then basically, you don't need these stupid things here where it says oh, where it takes it. So this reads where we're at, like this signal. So if A equals whatever, then output this signal, and then when this, so when we're here, you output the asteroid belt, or whatever. When you're here, you output the asteroid belt. When you're at the asteroid belt, you output the planet orbit. We're at a planet orbit right now. Um, you don't actually need to do that because then you just have the signal outside and it'll transmit in, and then when you're at the other location you'll get the other signal. So this is really messy because then I'm checking for like few things, and I wasn't very good at the circuitry back then. I mean, honestly, I'm still not very good at the circuitry, but you come up with new things. Basically, I have like decider combinators that set a condition based on if we like say if we have enough ammo inside, if we have enough um, if the tanks are filled, if the I think there's one if tanks are filled, and then where we're at, and then finally it gives like the launch signal. There's quite a bit of these. It's kind of messy. So that's one of the ships. If you want me to go through this more in detail, I actually can. But once you do a few ships, you actually do get the hang of it. So on the ship itself, and then basically you need a combinator that sets where you clamp on. So this is the clamp on the on the surface side. So it's 22, and you set these based on whatever number, just something unique for this spaceship to clamp onto. And then also at the destination you also set a clamp, like this clamp also is 22, so the ship will always dock at 22. And then I could show you what the flight looks like later on one of the ships. Yeah, I have all these massive inserters just to try to uh, insert the ammo into all these gun turrets. Uh, you don't all these gun turrets are not very efficient later on. Laser turrets are much better, but they do require much more power to maintain flight. And then, of course, you need these shield projectors. Even laser turrets are not good once your ships get very fast. I think this ship only tops out at oh god, it hasn't flown in so long. Oh yeah, I only set it at 120. It only tops out at about 110, I think. It doesn't go very fast. Yeah, my earlier ships, I have the speed setting in a signal here. You actually don't need that. You could just set the signal here if you want if you want it to be controlled. And let's go here. I think so. That's one of the cards, and then there's also another card that comes from this experiment. Takes astrometric data and oh, this is more negative pressure data. Yeah. Oh yeah. So one of the other tech cards also require negative pressure. Um, so here's one of them, negative pressure and astrometric data, and then this one's just negative pressure data, and then you output some of the data back out. So there's a feedback loop here that I have, and one last one that it's totally a different kind of formula, but you take cards and the particle stream. More cooling done here. Um, and then finally it goes into the um, supercomputer to make catalog, and then I have okay. I guess because of the spaghetti, I didn't want it to loop all the way up here, so I have it go into a box. And so, and then here's all 4 catalogs, and that makes the insight. And then finally, the science pack is the intermediate product, the significant data, the catalog, insight, previous tech pack, and then thermofluid 100. It's pretty annoying that you have to like pick out this thermofluid for the base tech packs, but then I think for the deep space science they all use the negative two, the absolute zero fluid. And then I think here's my energy science 3. Oh no, this is energy science. Oh, this is energy science 2. Never mind. Nope. These are my antimatter production. You need it much later. This is pack 4. I think these two I made pretty compact actually. This is pack 3. Okay, so there's 4 different experiments. So there's this one, there's this one. I think one of them, the fusion test data, is the one that you use to make the what's it called, the if you want to do it, if you want to do the oh god, what the yeah, fusion test data. I think fusion test data is from energy science 4. That's if you want to do matter conversion in space. It's very inefficient. I think I mentioned it before, but if you can think of a way that makes it efficient, then great. And then this is the only thing that uses this green stream thing. So I only have one machine, but I think it's actually not really keeping up. I might have to make another one. In any case, and this data, the entanglement data, this is a very annoying one where you only get 20% of the product back. The rest of it goes into junk data. and then you actually need this for one of the deep space sciences too. So I have some collecting here, but then I eventually had to make its own. I have to make more. Um, I was I had to make another spot for it, and it's not really grouped in any way. You just need to bring in blank data cards and ion stream, and you can make it. So yeah, I have supercomputer making the catalog, and then its intermediate product, significant data, catalog, insight, and the previous science pack, and there we go, and then filter out here. I think this doesn't have any. This is still just junk data. Okay, and then finally, I'm gonna pause for a little bit. I'm getting really tired. Okay, I'm back. It's probably just like a flash second for you, but I actually ate dinner and stuff. Yeah, I was like yawning pretty hard before, so let's try to finish this. So let's see the energy science. So with the energy science ship, it goes to a star orbit. So let's go take a look. Calidus orbit. And the unique thing about star orbit is that the solar energy from the star orbit is insanely high. It's like 1500%. So what you do is you plop down just tons of these solar panels, and then what you're able to do then is feed that energy into a energy beam emitter, and that you could I'll also demonstrate. Yeah, so what you could do is you could charge up one of these beam receiver things, and you can go take a look at it. So this is the one I just propped down on my Iridium planet, and when it shoots at here, this is the size of basically basically 2x2 nuclear reactors, and it goes all the way up to 10,000 degrees, so it's very efficient, and then the heat is able to you can either use heat exchangers like the regular heat exchangers, or these are high temperature heat exchangers that are quite late tech, and then you're able to use these high temperature turbines that use the 5,000 degree steam, and then it's pretty annoying to balance. This thing is one of the hardest dumb things to balance actually, because it outputs both lower, like the regular nuclear reactor temperature steam, and it also outputs water. And you need to clear both of those. The water needs to go back out. It outputs water through these side um, ports here, and getting them to actually flow out properly is a pain in the ass. So you could either do that, or you could do glaive or autoglaive. And I guess I'll show you what glaive does. So let's just aim this at novice. Uh, oh wait, no. I think this is actually used. Crap. Oh well, I'll just load the game. That's fine. Um, so glaive novice, and like let's just shoot my base for fun. How about right there? Yep. I guess it doesn't do very much damage. But let's say here, let's just shoot there, and then it moves. Um, yeah, so it slowly does damage that way. Or there's one more mode where there's one more mode of called autoglaive, where it'll just move along and kill things. And um, the crazy thing with autoglaive though is that it will say like it kills something on one side of your base and then there's nothing left. It will actually it won't know to turn itself off. It'll just actually rotate itself through your base and to the other side and get the enemies there. It's not the greatest, but what can you do? So yeah, I just have like a billion of these solar panels. I mean, you probably could actually use a bit more. So the ship comes in here, and uh, the s- the rocket silo is here, and then this is a different rocket silo, by the way. It's called a space probe rocket silo, so it's got a bit of different crafting recipe compared to the regular rocket silo. And yeah, you go. Uh, these things are actually very good for ships. That's not one of them. I think this one charges ships, and this one was supposed to charge a ship, but I forgot what I did with it. Notice orbit, energize. Pretty sure it's like right about here. Yeah, the ship. It was right about there. I'll fix it later. Um, so regardless, yeah. I'll talk about that uh beam receiver later on. It's pretty cool though. So basically, yep, I have the one tech card coming in here, and it outputs onto this belt on this side, and then this is one of the techs. That's the recipe. And then I think you need a lot. This is a much earlier tech, but you need a lot of them to craft one of these. Yep, this electromagnetic field data. Oh, no, I mean the magnetic monopole data. Electromagnetic field is from an earlier level, and then this one is the fusion test data. So it takes proton streams. So that's the one that yeah, I guess I'll have to probably bump up my proton stream production. I only have the one machine here because I thought it wasn't really all that. Not here. I didn't think it needed a whole ton of it. So just the one machine here. But I guess now I'll probably need a bit more. Yeah, it's running very low. Um, and then it comes over here. Quantum processor. That's one of the very high level intermediates that you can only craft in space. And significant data, catalog, insight, and the previous tech pack. And then down here, I also take all four of the catalogs to make insight. Let's see. I meant to show one more thing. Yeah, the quantum processor is used in quite a number of craftings. I guess also into making AI core, which is a Crastorial 2. That's the highest level Crastorial 2 um, intermediate product. But yes, quantum processor, very expensive item. Takes immersite crystals. That was a new addition by the new compatibility update, and also lots of homium and even this quantum phenomenon data. You could see. I guess you could look at this as like a blue chip and higher, like a higher than blue chip. I'll I guess I'll go through a few more buildings then that you can, a few more buildings or even intermediates that you can access. There's this dynamic emitter. Let's see what that's used in. It's using energy shield, so it's an intermediate that's used in quite a few different things. Um, Arcosphere collector being one of them. Planet. Yeah, so this is a pretty high level intermediate, and then there's a final chip called the quantum, not quantum processor, but the Nacrium processor, and that's the highest level. And then there's more stuff here. Um, AI core. There's the I don't think some of these become available until after this. this one maybe. Wide area beacon, very expensive recipe. Um, does give you this giant area beacon. It comes really late though, so I mean it does have some applications. I'm not gonna say it's useless. Um, and then that's wire beacon 2. I'll show that off afterwards. There's these Nacrium machines. I guess these are all fairly late game, or all very like almost end game, I would say. Right, this dynamic emitter is also used to make this nanomaterial. It's a also very late intermediate product. Um, I guess that's everything. So let's go take a look at a few spaceships now. So like I said, there's three types of spaceship fuel. There's the liquid rocket fuel, not a very inefficient uh, as fuel, I would say. And then there's the ion stream, and then finally there's antimatter. Mm, and let's see, let's take a look at this is the very first spaceship that I made. It only goes from the novice ground up to here, and the purpose that it serves um, is that it hauls over these two storage tanks of petroleum gas and fluids and um, light oil and heavy oil. This would allow me to use less of the cannons, just because I didn't really think the cannons work very well. Though I have some people say it's fine, the cannon fluids. It actually may be a little bit easier to organize compared to this, but regardless, this ship, it went through one redesign. It was really annoying when I think something changed in terms of the um, in terms of the energy. They had a few updates where they kept changing the stack size of the rocket fuel, which changed the energy amount of the liquid rocket fuel. And you actually only need two of these tanks, and that's how I initially built it. But since that one update, I ended up having to add in two more tanks, and I never removed it. But it's kind of now. I mean, it's an ugly ship to begin with, but but yeah, let's see. Uh, the wiring is very messy to say the least. I ended up using a bunch of these add-on, and like I said at the beginning, I didn't really know how to do the signaling from the outside, so I had all these combinators on the inside of the ship to, uh, and I didn't even know that you could basically, instead of doing nine, like, oh, when it's something set 9, say here, so when there's enough bullets in here, set condition 9, and then when you have 9 and 3, so 3 being that the fluids are low, oh no, the fluids are full, I mean, when the fluids are full, uh, and these are, this is empty, this is full, then set a B condition. No, you don't have to do that. Basically, you just say, oh, this being one condition, bullets are full, set A, for example. You know what? Avoid using A because A is the location signal. So say like set B, or even set, when bullets are full, set 1. Not as in the not as in 1, but like as in the signal 1, not the one of something, but the signal 1, set 1. And then when the tanks are full, set 1. So and then you launch when 1 equals 2, or when 1 greater than 0, or whatever. uh, it's a lot cleaner than what I've done initially, but I'm not gonna go back and dismantle all these. You know what, the thing with these is that once you build it once, you don't even really remember how they actually work. So yeah, that's one of the ships that just hauls fluids. And then I have these two ships that one goes to Astrobelt 1 to haul in um, water ice, and one that goes to Astrobelt 2 to haul in methane ice. And these use ion engines. So ion streams are a little bit more efficient compared to, well, I would say much more efficient really, compared to the liquid rocket fuel, but we don't. But that being said, it can't take off from planets. It can only take off. It can only do space flight. So you can go from orbit to like another asteroid field and stuff. That's fine. But it just can't. It cannot take off from planets. And I don't know if this is a good ship to. So this ship just gets power from a few solar panels. They work okay. This is enough, and you charge up some of these accumulators beforehand, and that's enough energy to for the flight. And it's a fairly quick flight. I mean, I guess I'll demonstrate how it works, right? So this is called a buzzard. So let's just have it take off. Let's just tell it to launch, and then let's follow it. So when you have automatic flight, it will automatically engage. If you do it normally, sometimes you have to press engage, or at least the first time for it to start flying. And it just flies in this sort of weird empty space where these little meteors come down, and they only really come down straight top to bottom. I mean, they do come down from side to side. Before it kept the lasers and turrets will keep shooting even things on the side, but Arendelle since did a really good update where they stopped shooting on anything that's not on a trajectory that would hit anything. And then basically the meters get faster and bigger the faster your ship flies. So now this one doesn't go very fast; it only goes up to like 130. But once you have ships that go up to the 200s, you'll get a lot of bigger stuff. Also, I don't know if it depends on the size of your ship as well. And also the distance-wise, it gets a bit more dense the closer you are to the asteroid belts, and also the closer you are to the asteroid fields. So that's one of the ships. Let's take one more look. Calidus asteroid belt 1. So yeah, like I think I mentioned this before. I found a very rich beryllium field, beryllium here. So I have it coming in via the space train. Space trains are awesome, by the way. And it just loads into this cute little tiny ship. And it should be at a. It flies from. Oh no, it's in mid-flight, so we can catch it in mid-flight. What's it called? It's hard of. I'll be back when I find it. So it's called Stone Chat, and yeah, it flies from the. It flies from the ground, basically in between. The Aquila moon is a very tiny moon, so the launch energy is really small. So you can actually use these liquid rocket fuel. It's fine, and yeah, you see how it shoots at the meteors. It's only going very slowly. It's only going at it's only got the one engine, so it flies very slow, but it's fine. Like I don't need to fly super fast or anything. Um, Basically, it loads up a bunch of the beryllium and from the asteroid belt and then flies it to the ground, or flies it to the moon. It's a decent length flight, but it doesn't require very much energy because it doesn't go very fast, and also the launch energies from any space locations are basically non-existent. And when the moon is tiny, it's also you think of it as like the gravity is very low and you can get off of it super easily. So yeah, and yeah, this is like one. It's got one of these isothermic fluid generators that powers all the inserters and also the engine. Got a big mess of these add-on power poles just to power everything. Yep. Let's just see. Yeah, and then a bunch of signals that says, oh, when it's on the ground, go to when it's on the moon, go to the asteroid belt. When it's on the asteroid belt, go to the moon, and then a bunch of conditions for it to launch. Again, very messy because this is one of my earlier spaceships, but it's kind of cute. I must say. Let's look at some more ships. Nope, I can't look at that ship. It's not a final product and it's considered spoiler, so I won't show you that ship. Um, until maybe like one or two videos later. Okay, I think the last one we will look at is this Nacrium Hauler. So you need to get this before you can move into deep space science. And then that was actually one of the biggest blockades, I would say, in order for me to progress on the game, because it's felt really annoying to go to a asteroid field because asteroid fields have very low solar, and I wasn't really sure how you would set up power there. But the quick, easy answer is that you don't. You just have your ship. Let's see. So let's look at one of the ships. Yep, this is one of the ships, and it flies using the ion engines. Has a decent number of these shield generators up front and a bunch of turrets. It goes. This actually goes pretty fast. 100, I mean, not that fast. I guess 129. Um, but it seems to you get a lot of bigger meteors on this ship compared to the other ones, for some weird reason. But anyway, so yeah, this beam receiver, it can. This is a very overpowered structure in my opinion, because even when it's not here, it's able to receive the heat. Like even when it's not here, it retains the heat that it's received, so it starts working at 5,000 degrees, but it's able to retain up to 10,000 degrees Celsius worth of heat, and so then that residual heat will keep working even when it's in flight, even when it's arrived to its destination. And using these uh, high temperature heat exchangers and high temperature turbines. This powers the whole ship. So you need um, sulfuric acid in order to mine natrium. So I have a tank that hauls it there, and then it comes back on a bunch of these boxes. And then it also brings over the interstellar warp probe, and then it brings back the interstellar warp probe data. That's used. That's one of the data cards for the Deep Space Science 1. Um, and yeah, so I guess that's one of the ways you power your ship is just like I think I've showed a few different ways, either isothermic fluid generator via just the rocket fuel, very inefficient, or something big like this beam receiver that receives like a crazy amount of energy that you could retain throughout the flight when it lands till it comes back. It's ridiculous. Like it basically just charges when it's here. It doesn't. It feels like the energy beam stays with it during flight. It doesn't. It's just how much energy it's able to retain. And yeah, I have this hauling back the crushed, not quite. So I think we'll end this episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If any questions, leave a comment. Like the video. I don't. I'm not gonna make it big as a huge YouTuber or anything, so don't worry if you don't want to subscribe. I don't. It's fine. All right, but I just hope everyone enjoys, and this is a good way for me to show off everything without posting a bunch of screenshots on Reddit. Okay, thanks. See you next time.